Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I am back at it with another Madden NFL video. And this is going to be the week one, the start of the 2025 season, the very first game between the Cleveland Browns going up against the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, who had won the Super Bowl against the New Orleans Saints in overtime. So in NFL Madden, the Patriots have won their 7th Super Bowl. How are they going to defend that Super Bowl? We shall see in week one against the Cleveland Browns. So, I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. We're going to get right into the action, and I will be right back after the conclusion of this game. Plus, I'm going to go over all of the other scores and games that are going to be happening in week one as well.
Tonight, from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Mac Jones and the New England Patriots taking on Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. The wait is finally over. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here on the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. Here come the Browns on offense with Baker Mayfield, the former #1 overall pick at quarterback.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
Mayfield off the play fake. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, Chubb going to get forward for only about a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Mayfield. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Nick Chubb, the intended receiver.
Nice defense. 3rd down and 8, boys. We gave up the one first down, but ever since, the defense has been able to stand up.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield.
Nice.
This is broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not easy to hold on to.
That's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. on the return after a punt of 39. And the Patriots take over. So out come the Patriots here to get their first shot on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before.
All right, we are back more than halfway done with the first quarter as we still have a 0-0 ball game. Yeah, there you go. Hunter Henry wide open for the first down and plus a little bit more.
Someone with some excitement and energy is like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
All right, another pass and play, it looks like.
Throwing on first down. Jones gets this into the hands of Gray, the tight end. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. It's a gain of 9 yards.
Across each zone. You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
All right, we are back, and it looks like the Pats are going to rely on the passing game once again. Looks like a wide receiver slant route. Oh, yeah, Noah Gray is wide open for the first down and plus plenty more. Stopped at the 11-yard line.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football.
Interesting placement for Noah Gray. Even though he's a tight end, he's in the wide receiver slot.
The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll look to throw again. And right side, Henry's got it.
Only got a couple of yards on that.
Second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Second and 6 with the ball on the 7. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
All right, got it. Touchdown, New England.
Well, it was hard. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Pats have taken the early lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Now the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0.
7-0, New England on top late in the first quarter.
And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown.
Where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the
All right, we are back, and the Cleveland Browns have the football, and they're going to try to answer that touchdown just scored moments ago.
At the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They go play action. Mayfield.
Uh-oh. Interception.
Picked up by Jonathan Jones. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here.
Oh my goodness, where was he? Was throwing in triple coverage. He was throwing in a sea of navy. I don't know where he thinks he was. Anyway.
Out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you can see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
All right, we are back at it at the start of the second quarter. as the Patriots are still up 7-0.
From the gun on third down.
All right, not bad to pick up the first down. Although they're going to count that as a run and not a pass, which is fucking weird, but whatever.
Gets him a new set of downs.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you got everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
All right, we are back at it. The Patriots are working with a 3rd down and 4. Going for a screen pass, I see. Got it. Just barely got the first down.
First and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's just what you call a chain mover right there. Nothing fancy. Get the ball out to the back, and you're asking him to make a little bit extra out of maybe what is nothing, and he does exactly that. Picks up the first down. I can't wait till we get to the point, partner. But we're not saying chain mover, but we're saying laser pointer picks it up for the first down.
All right, we are back, and the Patriots are working with a 3rd and goal at the 10-yard line. Just going to opt to run it.
He's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. Make that now 3 straight 2-yard gains. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it, but here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
It's up and it's good. New England up 10-0.
And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the turnover leads to points.
All right, we are back beyond the 2-minute warning. And as you can see, the Patriots are down here at the goal line. They're taking their time. And I thought maybe they were going to get in the end zone, but it looks like New England is just going to continue to milk the clock and kick another field goal right before the halftime.
First downs and good things can happen for them. Just second and short coming up.
It looked like they were going to get in the end zone, but they were stopped, which allows New England to take it all the way down to 3 seconds.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
And with this kick, we will go to halftime. The Pats up 13-0 at halftime.
For this first half. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens as they get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Good games in the late afternoon as well. We'll stay out east and highlight the matchup at MetLife Stadium, where it'll be the Giants. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window, one being out in Las Vegas, where it will be the Raiders. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, should be a good one there, between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half?
Back and forth?
We turn it back over to our broadcast
It's been a
team.
defensive slug. What do you mean? Back and forth. Stop smoking the marijuana.
Welcome everyone back for
All right, we are back deep in the third quarter with not really a lot happening, more of the same, as the Patriots are up 13-0. And the Patriots are down here near field goal range once again. And Cleveland's going to stop them, but New England will be able to kick another field goal if they choose to do so. While Cleveland's defense is doing a good job at preventing New England's offense in the end zone, so far Cleveland's offense has been the problem, right? They're turning it over. They're not able to score at all to combat that low score from New England right now. So, which that just shows you, that's a testament of how good New England's defense is. Despite the low score New England has, they can rely on their defense most of the time. It's up and it's good. 16-0.
That's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they're able to build on things here with a field goal, but the question is how much longer can they really rely on their defense to pitch a shutout? So the Patriots with a football.
Okay, we are beyond the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter, and as you can see, the score is still 16-0, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Cleveland, they're gonna try. They took a timeout, but I don't know how good it's actually gonna do Cleveland at this point, because they would have to get 2 touchdowns and a field goal to win in a very, very short amount of time.
We'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Is that a quarterback sneak? Oh no, okay, they're going to go for the run. They are going to take another timeout. Interesting.
We get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
It's just going to be a lot of draining the clock. And after the game, we're going to kind of talk about it a little bit more. And then we're going to go over and recap all the other scores from week 1. So that'll be happening as well.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on.
Oh, yeah, we're just trying to be mean. We're just trying to be bastards about it. We could have went forward, but we wanted to do that. That way they have to use their last timeout, because now they have no way to stop the clock no matter what. Now we're just going to kneel it a couple of times, 2 times. That way we can keep the clock rolling.
Game in hand, the offense takes the knee.
Even though we could have ran a play, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure we are going to win this game at this point. Oh my God, because Cleveland, they need a lot to happen. They need 2 touchdowns and a field goal to win, which I know. They practically have a 0% chance of all of that happening in way less than a minute. So Cleveland's going to be 0-1 to start the season. And New England will start the season off with a win, 1-0.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So to me, this seems like
New England, they are going to kick it, but
instead they were thrown for a loss.
They'll take I would imagine that they would take a timeout when the play clock gets to 1 or 2 seconds. We're just playing a little bit of petty ball with the Cleveland Browns. They're like, yeah, let's let them have the football back and believe that they have a slim chance when they don't have one at all. Oh God.
The Patriots send out their punter.
All right, Cleveland, you can do it. 26 seconds. Oh God.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise,
oh man, I just got to say, I apologize for not showing much Cleveland footage. Oh, well, that was probably their best play of the whole game right there.
A solid game downfield.
I mean, there wasn't much to show. That's why I didn't show much of Cleveland action on offense. That was probably their best entire play of the fucking game right there. What you just saw, to be honest.
And all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
It is just special. You can just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we...
They actually surpassed us in passing yards. Okay. Well, that's all they had. And, well, look at it. They still got shut out.
Let's keep going.
So for New England, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins.
Alrighty, so as you can see, Baker Mayfield threw for 231 yards, and Mac Jones threw for 190 yards and 1 touchdown, but Baker Mayfield, he threw for like 3 or 4 interceptions. I could have shown them, but I didn't. But I'll be back to talk a little bit more about it. I probably won't say much more about it, and then we're going to recap and go over the other games, so I'll be right back. All right, everybody. I am back at the conclusion of this game, and the Patriots, they managed to go 1-0, beating the Cleveland Browns by a score of 16-0. Well, there's not really a whole lot to talk about other than New England's defense was on it. And New England's offense, they did enough to secure the win. Cleveland's defense was better than their offense for sure, because I mean, usually New England's offense is getting up to 20, 30, 40 points, sometimes 50 or more points, only to stop them for 16 points, but Cleveland's offense wasn't able to do anything. So Cleveland had one bright spot. They were able to stop New England from scoring less than 20 points, but the problem is their own offense, they couldn't get it together. No. While Baker Mayfield did outperform Mac Jones as far as passing yards, that's true, but he threw like 3 or 4 interceptions to go with those yards. And while I'm thinking of Drake May, good God, no. While Mac Jones, he only threw for 190 yards, he did throw more touchdowns than Baker Mayfield, even though it was just the one in the first quarter, and the rest of the way was nothing but field goals. But a win is a win, and New England gets to rest for 10 days on a win, as they will be taking on the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football in Week 2, while the Cleveland Browns, they have to sit and stew on that loss for 10 days against the Miami Dolphins. And, yeah, I don't have much else to say other than, yeah, it really wasn't much of a game. Kind of a, for those that aren't a fan of either team, it's kind of a bummer because you got a defensive game the very first game of the season. So I'm sure the games will get more exciting score-wise, but yeah, don't go nowhere because I will be right back to recap the rest of the scores along with this one. Okay, everyone, I am back to go over the rest of the NFL Week 1 2025 season, the beginning week. So obviously no teams had any bye weeks. So Thursday night, we had the Browns losing to the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots by a score of 16-0. Then we had the Green Bay Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 24-22. Next up, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers go to the Chicago Bears and beat the Chicago Bears by a close score of 31-28. Then we have another early rivalry between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders, aka the Redskins, aka the football team. I think it's stupid as hell that the Redskins have had 3 different names, but whatever you want to call them, they are the same team, just a different name. The Commanders beat the Cowboys in a blowout fashion by a score of 38-21. Then we had a shootout between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs, as the Kansas City Chiefs walked away with a 45-41 victory in that one. Then we had the Baltimore Ravens dismantling the Buffalo Bills by a score of 35-7. Then we have yet another divisional rivalry between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons, and that one went the Atlanta Falcons' way by a score of 31-20. And I did forget to add the record of the Atlanta Falcons. I noticed that, but they are 1-0, even though I forgot to add it. So keep that in mind. All right. That was my bad. That was on me. Next up, we have a matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tennessee Titans, where Aaron Rodgers leads the Tennessee Titans to a victory by a score of 31-20 over the San Francisco 49ers. Next up, we had a smacking between the Panthers and the Dolphins, where the Carolina Panthers beat the Miami Dolphins by a score of 20-3. Then we had a West Coast match between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Chargers, where the Los Angeles Chargers came away with the victory on that one by a score of 21-14. Then we have another matchup, another LA matchup, even though the Rams and Chargers share the same arena, but supposedly they're playing at the same time in the same exact arena. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. But we had the New Orleans Saints beat the Los Angeles Rams by a score of 38-31. Then we have yet another divisional rivalry game between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals, where the Arizona Cardinals, in an upset, beat the Seattle Seahawks by a score of 31-28. Then we have the Las Vegas Raiders falling to the New York Giants by a score of 38-35. Next up on Sunday Night Football, the first Sunday Night Football game of the year between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Detroit Lions, went the Bengals' way as they demolished the Lions by a score of 35-17. Now, to close out week one, we have a double hitter on Monday Night Football. The first game on Monday Night Football was a AFC divisional game between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts, as the Indianapolis Colts would go on to beat the Texans by a score of 31-17. And our final game of week one to close out the first week of the 2025 season is between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos, where the New York Jets walked away with a win on that one against the Denver Broncos by a score of 34-20. And be sure to join me next time, as we will be going over week 2 of the 2025 NFL season. I am Buck Beak, and I'm going to go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye, guys.